Hello, 7K family. All right. Hey, real quick, short training because we're doing IPAs, but IPAs are different for, let's say, different stages of your business. And I don't think that's been very clear. So I want to make it very clear today, real short and succinct. Let's say that first year or 2 years that you're in your business, your IPAs are a little bit different than those that already learned the skills, attitudes, and techniques that it takes to be successful in this business and the commitment level it takes to be successful in this business. And so let's start with the new person. Let's start with that person in that first year, just kind of doing it part time. Uh, have to depend on their other income right now. And uh, I'm going to categorize this as, let's say, your college education. You're you're actually going through a learning period. Now you're doing, but you're learning mostly, and you're learning the skills, attitudes, and techniques it takes to be successful in this space, in this business, and in particular in our 7K business. Okay. Network marketing has its own techniques and skills that are required to be successful in it. And everyone can learn them. It's just, will you take the time to do it? And will you make it a priority so you can be immensely successful in this space? Now, everybody's goals and desires are different. Maybe your desires only get to 500 a week, and add that as incremental income for your retirement or what you're doing or whatever. And it's done from home in your uh, internet based home based gold and silver business where you can accumulate wealth and secure the wealth that you have that you've been working for, and uh, and have the possibility to grow it. And what you have to do is look at past people's successes and pick those that are like you. And if they can do it, why couldn't you do it? And that's what you got to ask yourself. Uh, Once you get through these periods, okay, then you're going to be doing a lot more what I call management team development, but you're still going to always do your base because you're going to always be learning. If you're not learning, you're not growing. So even I still learn, okay? And so if I still learn, I think you should still learn, but you won't do it on the same scale on a daily basis that you do in your first year or 2 years. So I'm going to make a line of demarcation for you in terms of our ranks and in terms of your income. So once you achieve that 500 a week or more, uh, well, you're moving into that second phase where you're into growth and long-term growth, and deep growth in your organization. And that's where your IPAs come a little bit different. So let me go over them real quick so we know what they are. Okay. And so it's not going to be any different than what I've always taught. The whole thing is systems and ways of doing things should be constant, and that's how you succeed. So the very first, that's why I teach those 7 pieces of paper as a success system. Okay, this is the system for success. This is not the system for building. Okay, that's separate. That's my simple 1, 2, 3 system that's been put out there. And how you onboard. I now have a checklist for that onboarding. Okay. So the very first thing is to recognize this. It takes 2 years to do that learning for most people. Why? They're busy making a living. They're busy with all the other factors, but you've got to make time. The key is you must make time for this. You must make it a priority. Otherwise, it's just a little side gig, something you do. You don't really put the priority into. In other words, you skip a lot of college classes. You don't go. If you don't go to the classes, you can't really learn. Okay. You skip them too much. Okay. So I absolutely tell you what your IPAs are your first 2 years, or until you start making that $500 check every week, or pretty much averaging that. Okay. So this is that commitment 10 hours. What are you committing to? Really learning, because the main IPA you have is to learn. And that's watching a video every single day, 5 days out of 7 for 2 years. Now, everybody must do this. If you don't do this, this is why your business is not where you want it to be. You're not learning the skills, attitudes, and techniques that it takes to do this business. Now, this is a simple thing to do, but most people skip the simple things to do. The other main thing that you need to do is what you're doing right now. You need to at least once a week, tie into a physical or a Zoom meeting with your team or with your team leaders. And this is for 2 years, or until you're making that 500 a week. But I say this one is something you must continue. We've had a physical meeting at George's house every Tuesday night, and we just finished one this past Tuesday. We're going to have one the Tuesday after Christmas, where we have it regardless, unless somebody's sick or we're traveling for a 7K event or something. Okay. So you must be in it. So it can be done through Zoom, like here. Okay, my Saturday training could supplement that for you. That's the one you're doing if you don't have one locally. But I encourage you to start one locally between you and your spouse, between you and at least one partner in your local area that y'all get together once a week. Okay. So that's basically 2 hours out of the week doing that. And it could be up to 3, okay? Because you may be doing may be doing mine and your local one, okay? My training and your local one, okay? Now, you can always watch the corporate Zooms and Zoom through stuff and get to meet on the recorded call if you don't make the call on the corporate call. Now, the other main thing that I'm kind of doing them in a list of priority is making your list. Now, this is the most important thing. You will work on this for 2 years. You will add to it. Your initial list of 100 people, you also want to star out or make stars of your hot 25 or 50. 25 to 50, you can put little stars by. That's your hot list. That's what we're going to work on in that first year for sure. But we're going to start working on it as fast as possible with your partner upline that you're working with your leader. Now, if you don't have one of those, then this is where it becomes incumbent on you to be the leader, learn to be the leader, and then you are doing this the way with the methods that I teach you. Okay. So this is that expose 5 people a day, 5 days a week. You're going to do this forever. Huh, yeah, forever. Okay. And you want to, maybe one day you don't do 5, but you do, 8 or 9, and the next day you do 2 or 3, but the key is try and get some consistent effort in, especially in those first 2 years, because that's where it really counts, because you'll follow up with these people. So that's like 25 people a week. Well, you'll go through your list pretty good, but remember, you're going to be working on this list for 2 years, you're going to build that 100 to 500 using the list building techniques, okay, which are lots of people teach this now, but I have a memory sheet that kind of help you, and you work on that 15 minutes a day in that first 2 years, where you just get yourself really private, no interruptions, turn your phone off, turn anything background. You've got to concentrate on those lists, bring up and have a blank piece of paper there. So when a name pops in your head off one of those, you write that down. You might not know contact, and you write the relevance of that name. Was it a person that sat behind you in the 3rd grade? Was it a person you lived next door to when you were 11 years old? Whatever it was. Okay. So these are IPAs. This is what starts building, put those, how to work these skills and develop these attitudes and the techniques that it takes to build. Okay. So in addition, you want to own board properly. So I'm talking about the new people, the first 2 people. But if you've been in this business a year or 2, you've been a member and you haven't been doing these things, well, just make a commitment. Okay, new year coming. I am starting right now to be successful in this business. I'm going to do what is proven to be successful. Okay, so I want you to go to my list of how to actually 10 steps. I should retitle this my 10 steps to my 10 onboarding steps to develop a successful wealth building, with 7K. So these are the 10 steps. Okay, you got to join my band app. Okay, whichever team you're on, either the Dream Big team, the PMC team, 7KOY Ohana team, the Todd Father PSI team, Team Corona, Go for Gold team, well, on and on and on. Okay, I got 16 teams and a 16 band app, but the stuff on the band apps is the same. Okay, it's my trainings. Okay, now, so you got to get on that, and you got to understand this is a real easy thing. Learn how to use it, okay, and learn how to get on it on the website, band.us too. Okay, then you got to make sure I know you were presented the wealth strategies video, but you're going to have to watch this several times, especially in that first year yourself. Now, if you're watching it with other people, hey, that counts because you're the presenter. You press play. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, then you need to go through those first trainings in the notice section in the band app. You yourself, you got to go through all of them. Okay. Now, I require new people, the ones, and I've got a couple of them I'm working with right now, brand new. Now, they're going through this. They're building their list, and they're going through this right now before they ever talk to a person. Because, see, that's how you burn contacts. Because they ask you questions and well, you hadn't learned how to properly make this introduction, so you're much more successful. You do it through knowledge. Okay, so then I'm going to introduce you to in that band app my simple 1, 2, 3 system for building. Okay, that's the difference. There's a simple 1, 2, 3 system for building. And so you got to watch it. You got to know what it is. Make sure you put in that passcode or you won't be able to watch it. That's why I'll put it on this list here. And the fact that your autosaver, the engine of your residual income, the engine of uh, uh, your business, thing that keeps you active so you can earn commission checks and that accumulates wealth for you at the same time. Well, you need to know you're not paying what you think you're paying for. Oh, that makes you feel a lot better. Well, you get it through information, okay? Then it's validated by a tax consultant, CPA, one of the best in the industry, and so you watch that. Now, then you're gonna watch stories that matter, okay? Uh, that's some testimonies of people, various people that are in the business, and, uh, they tell you a little bit of what doing this system has resulted for them. And it's real result. Okay, how to build 7K a minute. That's a you get your two, you help those people get their two, you help those people get their two, then you're driving deep. You're what I call leapfrogging, and you learn how to working a team, and that team keeps advancing your business and building your left team and your right team with lots of depth. Okay, depth means volume. That means points all come up to you, and that's what you're ultimately after. Uh, the 3 to 5 years doing that is what really builds your income. So I introduced you some IPAs that you're doing in building, but you'll always be doing in that leapfrogging to advance and accelerate and build depth in your business that builds continuing uh, uh, exponential growth and volume in your business and your left and right teams. Well, you're going to need tools to do it, and the best ones that I've found, especially in the first for the first to accentuate, is the business card uh, with the QR code, and that can go either to your 7K Wealth System app video, like Wealth Strategies or Y7K, or whatever video you want. I give you kind of a priority list that I think works best, uh, or going to a landing page, and and that system works for people with large, and it will work for you. So I want you to pass out 1,000 of these cards, which only costs you less than $50 for 1,000 of them. High, very extreme quality if you get them through the company I set up, which I make no money off of. And I just want you, I do not make one penny, not one penny on these. So I just want my group to be able to have low cost tools to advance their business. And so I want you to have these, and I want you to pass out 1,000 of them. I want you to pass out 1,000 every year. Yes, every year. As long as you're in the business, I want you to pass 1,000 of these out every year. You'll see why in results after you've done it for a few years. Now, uh, you will then uh, I show you how to create your QR codes, how to get your free accounts, all that kind of stuff. But the key then too is part of your IPA is setting up your sound money account, okay, getting it set up, and then familiarizing yourself with that. And I gave you another income IPA building is where you buy either gold or silver, a combination of, make some amount that you buy every week or every month. So make a commitment. You're going to buy $25 a week, or you're going to buy $100 a month, whatever. The affordable amount, start accumulating wealth in gold and silver in your sound money account. That's in addition to your. So I tell you, create your own IRA in gold and silver, or your own 401k, instead of putting it where other people control it and tell you what to do. So I know it, you don't get the tax benefits of, money, but just think about it. The benefits are even greater than what you think, because those are imaginary tax benefits, because you got to pay the piper later. Believe me, I know. I'm 77. You got to pay the piper when you start taking it out. And most of the time, tax rates are higher later than earlier. So, you know, just just start accumulating wealth where you're in 100% control. Do sound money. Okay. Then set up your stack and sell account. As you get your monthly Autosaver, scan it and store it. Scan it, store it. You hold it, but you have an inventory base. You'll start learning how that is going to be a good tool for you in the future through those stories that matter. Then download and set up your 7K Wealth System app, where you can send videos and peak interest uh, uh, clips to your prospect list, to the people you're talking to, the people you meet, then people you're trying to follow up with. It's a great tool. Learn how to use it, and be familiar with it. Uh, and so we got to get that done. That's 8. And then look at what 9 is. Hey, I've completed all this. You tell your sponsor, the person you're working with, to build. If you are that person that you look in the mirror, you don't have anybody doing that, then, you are that person, and I teach you how you can do all these things. Like I said, a person doesn't need me anymore. I've got everything canned for them now from here on out. Now, I'll keep updating this as the company expands, as the company grows, as the company adapts and enhances. I'll keep these updated. But these things are going to stay the same. Always will. Okay. And so you're now ready. So you already got your hot list done. And so now we're ready to launch your business. We're going to go over those 7 pieces of paper for success and get your commitment level. But you've got to be willing to commit. This is what I see that so many people don't do. It's really more like a hobby to them. It's a wish and a hope that they get wealthy because they're at the right place at the right time. But if you would do these things for at least 2 years, then you would see how this can open up for you. But you got to just do it precisely like I said. It's like Richard Wayne Hansen and my great mentor, Jim Rohn, said. Okay. He's one of the greatest in the teaching and motivator for entrepreneurs in the networking space. And, basically it is this. Okay. Now, Richard Wayne Hansen had the privilege of working under Jim Rohn as a mentor personally. Now, I didn't have that. I just adopted Jim Rohn. I went to all of his seminars. I got all of his books. I got all of his tapes, and back then we had cassette tapes, listen programs, and I purchased all those things, and I went through all of them, and I followed. That was how I really my learning curve in the very beginnings of network marketing. And so what is the 3 things he says that you need? And Richard says them all the time. You got to have a burning desire to really want to succeed in this. You've got to have it. We can't put that in you. If you've got that or you get it, then that's one of the keys. The second is you got to have the willingness to work. So you got to be committed, working, doing the things that a proven successful system for me that's worked over and over again, and for many people. So it's a proven system. It's not something you have to go out and recreate. That's hard, recreating. So you got to have the willingness to work. But third, and I think it's equally important, is that burning desire. You got to be coachable and teachable. Coachable and teachable means when someone tells you how to do it that's already successful, just do it. Don't try and improvise. Don't try and, make it better. It's already proven. Just do it. Become successful at it. Then you can improvise if you think it's necessary. But I caution people about that. So many people I know that I've mentored throughout the years and teach them how to be immensely successful, become smarter than the teacher. I'm going to tell you, it's never worked out. It's never worked out for them because they aren't system builders. They didn't know how to, they took a system, became successful in it, but then they want to adopt it to their mentality. Well, they aren't creators. Now, maybe they will be. Maybe that will happen. I'm just telling you true facts of how to build, how to grow, and how to keep your growth duplicating throughout time. Have a proven system, work the system, and let it, let it be improvised by the by by the uh, by the people who know how to do it and it's proven. That's the one should improvise. Now, team leaders should work together, improvising, making better. You know, I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always looking, you know, but the key is if you got a proven system, work a proven system until it doesn't work. Okay. That's Jim Rohn, not me. I'm just telling you what he said. Okay. And there's some things that we learn to do in this process over this learning curve and in this building curve. But don't get frustrated in those first 2 years. That's not what it's about. You get to earn while you learn. You get to accumulate wealth. Those are all great things rather than just paying someone for a course to kind of improve your skills in certain areas, like continuing education in many uh, fields of endeavor. Yeah, that people have to have continuing ed, lawyers have to have it, CPAs have to have it, uh, uh, financial consultants have to do that, real estate brokers and agents have to do that, attorneys have to do it. I mean, so, in all walks of life, but ours are more simple. We get to do it through videos, and we get to do it, and we get to learn from mentors that have proven they can do what they teach. Oh, that's a big difference. That's good continuing education. Now, of course, I want you in those the videos you watch once a day. I want you to watch all the company stuff. That's true, but we're going to teach you how to build. Company doesn't teach that. Okay, they'll give you a building system, a concept, and it's very great training. Okay, but ours the actual how-tos here. Okay, and that's what I want you. You got to have that company knowledge for knowledge. Okay, the products, the buyer certificate, buildings are onboarding, uh, 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 quick start, and then the business building basics there. Oh, of course, I want you to watch all that. That's in part of that building curve. Now, once once you once you get to where you're actually building, you're going to be doing some of these IPAs, but what do you do in the IPAs? The other IPAs I taught you about, about checking your volumes, using the Internet Explorer. You're going to be doing some of those when you're building, but you're going to be doing a lot more of it. And you're going to only check your personal actives, and you're going to be checking your personal actives, and you're going to be checking because you want to maintain rank. You want to know what's happening. You want to follow up. You want to help. You want to coordinate. That's working as a team. So these get progressively a little bit more time intensive in things you need to do. You need to be checking your renewals. You need to be helping people remind about renewal. Now, see, you're not doing that in that first year at all. But in your second and more years, these are where the other IPAs, what I call the 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 depth building, the exponentiation of your business come into play. And that's where you'll need to learn to work on these on a regular basis and checking your website on a regular basis. So let's run real quick to those things that you will be doing more of. And I know I have separate trainings on a lot of these, but I just kind of want to put a summary here into one big, one overall summary of IPA, what you need to do from beginning to where you're making that big money. So you got to always know your front end of your business and the back end of your 7K website. So when you log in, you go to your back. You need to know every link. You need to know how it changes. If you're not checking it on a regular basis, then you're not. So this applies all the time from day one up until you're doing a business. So it's checking your website at least, you know, once a day. This is only 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. It's going through it and just checking all the links, checking what's there, seeing if something new's been added, uh, about new products, how they changing the categories, how they adding stuff. And believe me, more more enhancements are coming. And so you want to stay up the breast of them. And you got the little bell up here that we get to see what they announce, and it flashes there for a little bit. Okay. But then you want to make sure you stay abreast, but you want to make sure your team stays abreast because they may not be into that building mode, learning mode like you. So you're the one that has to help remind them that it's there. You're the one that has to reach out. That's an IPA. Okay. So uh, you also want to make sure you're very familiar with the Sound Money account, what it does, and you're also contributing to your own wealth building on a regular basis. So you should be checking it, and then you're going to learn by doing what this is and be able to communicate it more to your potential prospects and builder. Same thing with your stack and sell. You'll want to know what's on your dashboard. In other words, as you do it, and you'll see, hey, if you buy something new, if you buy a brand new car today, drive it off the lot, you expect to sell it next week for the same price you paid for it? Ain't no way. When you drove it off the lot, it's 30% or more or less. Okay. That's the max you could get for it. Okay. Well, and same thing with a home, same thing with a condo, same thing with just about anything you buy in assets. Okay. Well, we're paying retail for these. So it's going to show your cost that you paid. Now, the market value isn't going to, if someone's already sold that because they needed quick cash, well, the market value is not going to be the same, but that's not what you're looking at. You're only taking a short-term view. This needs long-term view, and that's why I train on stack and sell. And you've got to go through those trainings to understand. Don't form opinions before you have knowledge. That is a key attitude in success of this industry and this business in particular. Look at the testimonies of people who've been before you, have been collecting and stacking longer than you, and what's happened because they're stacking. That's what you want to know. Then you want to make sure you check 7K Advantage. This is something so many people I know in this business are not doing. And I get all kind of say I get basically I save more using 7K Advantage every year than 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 the cost of my legacy membership every year. But I don't have to renew legacy anymore. We have lifetime membership. So that savings allows me to buy more gold and silver. Oh, that's pretty cool. So make sure you check this every time you go to a restaurant somewhere along. Check it. See if they're there. See if you get a 10% off or 20% off. Buy one, get one half price. Buy one, get one free. I mean, they got 800,000 plus establishments in here. You're going to travel. You're going to rent cars. I always check this. Now I'll check where I normally get. I'm going to get the one that's the lowest price. But most of the time, 7K Advantage beats us. I get discounts on my car repairs. That I call a place, I find out how much it costs. I come in here, I find the place here, and gee whiz, I get $100 off. I did that on my Mercedes. I couldn't even believe it myself, you know. But uh, check this, and this is something that you got to do on a daily basis, or when you're going to acquire something, buy something, or travel. Okay, then of course you got to be doing the band app. Now I've got the 7K Hawaii Ohana team, and so this is the notice section. And if you touch on the phone, that little 10 plus, it's going to pull up all the things, this I do a website walkthrough for everybody. Okay. So you don't have to do it. But if you like doing that, go ahead and do it. But I do it and it saves you about an hour and a half time. I walk everybody through every link on their 7K website. And and so this helps remember the onboarding. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is the autosaver, why it doesn't cost you what you think. That's very important, especially for new onboarding and people who've been in the business for a while and has never seen that. Okay, then I teach you the 1, 2, 3 system for building. Okay, then I show you how to enroll someone. I show you your tools, how to get those QR code. Every one of these videos is what I have a new person watch before we start building. So they have a knowledge base. So it's not a lot, but I teach you the comp plan. I do all those kind of things here on those videos. That's the base. And we got to start duplicating that if you really want to be successful and build and build and build and advance momentum in your team. Okay. And so, and then understand that all the attachments, even the ones I just talked about, are in attachments. It's a little folder with a dot on it at the bottom of a menu on the phone if you're using just the phone. And so you will touch or click on view all when you open up that attachment. And then there you go. There's the 10 steps. You can download it, you can print it out, you can look at it. Everything that I use, that I show, every PDF, every paper, all the things for the comp plan, they're all right here. You don't have to email them. I don't have to email them. You don't have to email. You have to point and tell them where they at, where they can get them, where they download them, where they print out. I have tried to make this as simple and as duplicatable as possible as we start real big, huge growth in 7K. 2024 and on are going to be very momentum growth years for 7K and your business if you take advantage of it. And that's what I want each and every one of you to do. So let's see. I don't even know if I talked about money or not. uh, sometimes I don't even know what I talk about, hey, you guys, but there's a list building thing. I just want to tell you, and it's in the attachments in the band app, just your memory joggers and just one piece of paper. Let me get to where I'm trying to get at. Where is it at? Come on, Bob, find it. Oh, here we go. There's that income disclosure. Okay. So just in case I talked about income or whatever, and about products and quick and, stack and sell. I'm not an advisor. You're not an advisor. We're, we don't give investment advice. Uh, we're just a member of 7K sharing the benefits and the products of 7K. And, I talked about maybe building to $500 a week. Well, not everybody does that, but there are a lot that do. Okay. And what you want to look at is those that do. And then what you want to do is emulate what those do. And many people in my business make more money than me now. Well, two in particular make more money than me now. And have a third one coming on strong because they're at higher ranks than me, and they can get paid on the volume that they're building and exponentiating with. Now, I can catch up with them because I already have the volume. So it's a matter of me ranking up now, me helping other people. So the same would happen to you with time. I've been doing this for 7 years. So now it's time for me. And I've always built base first, and then I got rank. Okay. Now, in the beginning, I would teach people to rank up real fast in their, you know, growth period where they're working all the contacts and helping the contacts work their contacts. But then uh, as your business matured, you want to leapfrog more and build that solid base. And that's what I did. Okay. Some people do it, just keep expanding, keep growing at the same time. Well, if you've got the sphere of influence to do that, then that's great. And I or you got a bigger audience that you can reach out to. But most of us build like I do, through your circle of influence, through your expanding circle of influence with time, and through other people's circle of influence. That's the best way. That's a solid way of building. Okay. And so please review the income disclosure, and I look forward to you growing like we have grown and uh, and having success in your wealth accumulation and your wealth building with 7K for you and your family. Thank you. Okay, come on.